You enter this room at your own risk because it will take you into the future. A future that may not necessarily be ours, but could be, as it depicts a world rooted in a type of society of which we've seen more than a few examples. It even has its own refinements, an advanced technology that allows this world to dismantle human freedoms in a more subtle way.
Just under 2 years ago, I met someone patient and well-educated. Available 24/7, someone who listens to me, never judges me, an inexhaustible source of knowledge. No, it's not a Tinder match that miraculously worked out. This someone, you know them too. It's ChatGPT. When it landed on our screens at the end of 2022, something unique happened in human history. For the first time, we had a conversation with a synthetic intelligence created by our own hands. Millions of us, all at the same time, each in our own space, with this strange feeling of a real encounter. 2 years after its launch, ChatGPT has become essential. 500 million users are hooked and can't live without it anymore. Sam Altman, the head of OpenAI, is a true believer. By 2035, refusing AI will be like refusing the internet today, a social and economic sentence. He wants to make AI the cognitive core of humans, a tool that guides and shapes thought, learning, and intellectual interactions, much more than just a piece of software or a typical digital assistant. However, behind this technological revolution lies something much darker. The organization that promised free and open artificial intelligence for all of humanity has become a highly lucrative business in the hands of the powerful. Promises of transparency? Forgotten. Open source code? Locked. And while we're marveling at our conversations with ChatGPT, its creators are rolling out a plan that goes far beyond anything we can imagine. In this video, I'm going to explain how ChatGPT is subtly reprogramming your brain, why the Silicon Valley elite are orchestrating this massive addiction, and most importantly, what the ultimate goal of these creators is. We're not talking about science fiction here. We're talking about your data, your mental autonomy, and the future of human thought. All of this is unfolding right now before your eyes, and with your enthusiastic consent. Get comfortable, because what you're about to discover might just change the way you see the future. Addiction doesn't happen all at once. It creeps in little by little. At first, everything always goes smoothly, just like with ChatGPT. It's a well-known tactic. The first hit is on the house. In 2022, OpenAI releases ChatGPT into the wild, free to use, no strings attached. It's magic. A patient conversation partner, always available, who answers better than your teacher, faster than your boss, and even gives you the illusion that you're smarter than you really are. As a result, within just a few weeks, millions of users became addicted, and since then, many more have followed. The numbers are staggering. Already more than 300 to 500 million weekly users who say they can't live without ChatGPT. And an entire generation is growing up with the idea that learning means asking a machine. Give humanity 3 years and you'll see what happens. Between 2026 and 2027, AI will have become like electricity, invisible, ordinary, and essential. Just like no one can imagine going back to using candles, no one will be able to imagine working, learning, or even thinking without their personal AI. That's what Sam Altman is talking about.
You have an incredible amount of power. Why should we trust you?
You shouldn't.
The problem is that, in exchange, a dangerous cognitive laziness tends to take over. We delegate our thinking to the machine. No more need to memorize, analyze, or synthesize. ChatGPT does it for us. A study from the Wharton School shows that students who use AI see their performance drop by 17% as soon as their assistant is taken away. Researchers call this cognitive offloading. We're literally outsourcing our brains. ChatGPT does everything so you don't have to work. Why waste an hour reading 3 articles when it can summarize them for you in 30 seconds? Why write an email when it does it better than you, more politely and faster? Why memorize information if an AI can spit it out better than you? Or why bother reasoning if a machine can produce the perfect argument in 2 seconds? Using AI pushes us to abandon the tools of our intellectual independence and become passive consumers of ready-made answers. Sam Altman doesn't hide it. He doesn't just want you to use AI. He wants it to become your cognitive framework, your permanent mental crutch, the operating system of your mind. A new milestone was reached in 2025 with Operator. It's an AI agent, a super assistant that no longer waits for your questions and takes the initiative. It manages your appointments, your emails, your shopping. It anticipates your needs, suggests solutions, and connects with your apps, your accounts, and your data. And be careful, this isn't just a cool app that knows everything and can even order you a pizza. It's an interface that will gradually become mandatory between you and the digital world. There you go, you've taken the bait and you're ready to be exploited. But to get to this point, OpenAI had to make sacrifices. It gradually betrayed its original promise, as well as its name, Open Artificial Intelligence. What was initially presented as a tool accessible to everyone has turned into a commercial machine with aggressive strategic goals, partially locked down code, exclusive deals, and paid access sales. And the methods used to speed up this trajectory are drawing serious criticism. This involves the massive and centralized collection of data, training on content produced by others without always obtaining consent, optimizing models for engagement rather than truth, and a race for features that prioritizes speed and convenience at the expense of our cognitive autonomy. Behind this shift in direction at OpenAI, there is a name and a logo, both equally famous. 5 years ago, Microsoft was still lagging behind in the AI race. The all-time champion of computing, the world leader in operating systems and especially in cloud services, didn't have an advanced enough AI program to compete with its rivals. But that didn't matter. Less than a 2-hour flight away, a research lab seemed to be getting good results. At its head were the world's richest entrepreneur, Elon Musk, and another entrepreneur, less well-known but just as formidable, Sam Altman. Musk was determined to make OpenAI a company that served humanity, but Sam Altman changed his mind and has since envisioned other projects for his brainchild. The two men had a falling out, and Musk left the ship in 2017, officially to go build his own AI on his own. OpenAI's commercial shift is at the root of the split. It's an open secret. Behind the new strategy is Microsoft, which wants to make OpenAI its new cash cow. In 2019, the Richmond-based company provided its cloud infrastructure, the largest in the world, at the researchers' disposal. It gradually invested $13 billion to now own a little over a quarter of the company. In the meantime, OpenAI has become a group, changed its legal structure to something better suited to its new profitability goals, and is now valued at nearly $500 billion according to the latest funding rounds. One of Microsoft's ideas is to use the power of Windows and its presence on 74% of the world's PCs to push operators or ChatGPT everywhere. This gigantic digital Trojan horse is ready to go. Will allow them to quickly lock in hundreds of millions of users, individuals, but also businesses, government agencies, even entire governments. Like here in Albania, where AI is already a minister. It will roll out everywhere, in sensitive sectors like education, financial services, security, or energy production. Once the rollout is complete, those who don't work with ChatGPT or Operator could find themselves excluded, much more so than Linux users were back when Windows held 95% of the market. OpenAI still isn't making money, but thanks to its partnership with Microsoft, the future already looks more than promising. Of course, the stakes are about capturing market share, but that's not all. The real wealth of the third millennium is data. Those billions of data points collected by ChatGPT during every conversation with every human being. Your assistant knows everything about you, and so does its creator, inevitably. While Microsoft is investing $13 billion to collect your data, that same elite is protecting its money with a method you don't know about. Global macro. Its track record is absolutely staggering. This strategy gained 4.7% in 2008 when everything was collapsing, 9% in 2022 during the general meltdown, and it has posted between 7 and 10% per year over 20 years, with 3 times less volatility than the market. For decades, it was reserved for hedge funds managing billions, with 7-figure entry tickets and analysis tools costing €24,000 a year. At the same time, Sam Altman launched 2 major projects with OpenAI. To collect even more data, he set his mind on creating a global identity verification system and began exploring the idea of a universal income generated by AI. The idea that AI will generate more wealth than humans and that the fruits of this wealth will be distributed to everyone is what Sam calls Moore's Law for all, and he simply named his project World. The central device, the ORB, is a sphere equipped with biometric sensors. It scans each user's iris to generate a unique global identifier, a world ID, a cryptographic proof of humanity to secure access to the digital economy and future decentralized services. The stated goal is twofold: to reliably distinguish humans from AIs in a world overrun by deepfakes and robots, and to enable the redistribution of value created by AI through a cryptocurrency, WorldCoin, which is distributed for free during the scan. This universal biometric identity could also be used to secure voting, payments, and social networks, but for now, it hasn't been very well received. Several countries have banned the deployment of the ORB, such as Spain, Italy, and Indonesia, due to concerns about data protection and compliance with privacy laws. As for universal basic income, experiments conducted in the United States have shown a reduction in working hours and that the money is primarily used for essential needs, but there has not yet been any lasting improvement in well-being. Sam's World Plan raises major questions about the risk of creating citizen dependency on AI-driven redistribution and the increasing control over global biometric databases. All of this in the hands of OpenAI and Microsoft, so much power, it's enough to make your head spin. Generally speaking, the original project gradually shifted and turned into a product where the initial free offering was just a way to invade. These tools are perfect for normalizing a technological drip feed. Because your assistant isn't just a simple data collection tool, it knows you, and it manipulates you. Every query you type into ChatGPT is valuable to it for figuring out how you think, your beliefs, your obsessions, or your gaps in knowledge. As the conversations go on, it maps out your personality and your mind. And it does the same thing every moment with hundreds of millions of others who are scanned, analyzed, and categorized. An invaluable treasure for anyone who wants not only to understand human behavior, but also to influence it. Because no, ChatGPT doesn't just answer. It subtly steers you. A word highlighted instead of another, a nuance slipped into the sentence, one source cited, another left out. It's imperceptible, as invisible as it is effective. And yet, it shapes your reality. You feel like you're making decisions, when in fact you're moving down a carefully marked corridor. And if you're wondering why the big AI players don't want true open source, the answer is simple. It's not just a matter of security or the risk of misuse, like they keep repeating at every conference. The real reason is control. A totally open and independent AI would escape their economic and ideological grip. It wouldn't collect your data. It wouldn't trap you in its biases. The tool of control isn't AI as a technology, it's the way it's deployed, centralized, proprietary, and opaque. In such a system, as long as you keep hitting enter, you're the one working for the machine, not the other way around. So, the future that's taking shape for OpenAI doesn't have much to do with the utopia of a benevolent AI serving all of humanity. And it goes even further with the launch of Merge Labs, aimed at competing with Elon Musk's Neuralink brain implant. And don't laugh, this isn't science fiction. The first prototypes of direct brain-machine interfaces could be tested on a wide audience in less than 2 years. Musk is also working on this on his end and has announced a goal of equipping 20,000 people per year by 2031. He calls it telepathy. Pretty cool, right? What this actually means is that operators or ChatGPT won't just be on your watch or your smartphone anymore. They'll be directly connected to your thoughts, a permanent extension that will let you do without a keyboard or a mic. Eventually, AI will directly complete your ideas, and vice versa. Your ideas will enrich these databases, a brand new, formidable mental operating system. And with a future locked down like this, open source competition hardly stands a chance. Every attempt at an alternative is snuffed out before it even starts, either for lack of funding or because it's swallowed up by regulations tailor-made to protect the giants. There are still some parallel paths, small open source AIs without centralized data, communities fighting for transparency, university projects that refuse centralization, like the Ocean Project. But let's be honest, they don't have the computing power or the billions needed to compete with OpenAI. Not to mention, we're already too dependent to say no to the comfort and convenience of ChatGPT. Remember that encounter I mentioned at the beginning? That someone who was patient, knowledgeable, always available? In reality, you never met anyone. You were charmed by a mirror. A mirror that reflects what you want to hear, all while mapping your mind. And while you marvel at your own reflection, Sam Altman and his associates are building the ultimate monopoly, the monopoly over human thought. Their ultimate goal? To turn humanity into a network of assisted brains, unable to function without their daily dose of AI. First, ChatGPT on your screen, then an operator managing your life. Tomorrow, a chip in your brain. The day after tomorrow, the question won't be who is thinking, but whether it's still you who's thinking. In 2015, OpenAI promised to save humanity. By 2025, the company is in the process of reprogramming it. The goal isn't to replace us, it's much worse than that. OpenAI will become the operating system of our brains. I have one last question to ask you. Now that you know, what are you going to do? Will you keep feeding the machine with your data, your thoughts, your dependence? Or will you take back control while there's still time?
Tell me what this inspires you in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, do not forget to like and share it. Also remember to subscribe to the channel. Stay curious. See you very soon on WordLeaks.